Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Everyday Carry for the Everyday Guy. Thank you so much for tuning in again. As discussed in my last video, this time around I'm not going to do another holster review. I am going to be reviewing this. This is the Sniper Tactical or Sniper Africa EDC backpack. Before I start the review, I'm going to talk about this backpack a bit, so if you want to skip straight to the actual review, I'll show the time at the bottom of the screen. You can just skip straight to that. So when I bought this backpack, I did a review on Facebook about it, just a written review. And quite a few people were interested and said, why don't you do a video review? So that's effectively what gave birth to this channel. Also, the way you see it here is not obviously how you get it. It's pretty much modified to my own personal specifications. I've got it set up as my hiking backpack. And pretty much everything that's on or in this backpack sort of lives in this backpack. I don't take anything out besides maybe to clean it, but when I'm done, it goes back into this backpack and yeah, it stays there till I use it again. You will kind of find out that I'm a bit of a gearhead. I have way too much gear in here. I'm not saying your backpack should look like this or have the same stuff inside it. This is my own personal setup. If you like it, cool. If you don't, that's cool as well. I can tell you now already, there's going to be those of you who think this guy is a gearhead, he's carrying way too much junk. I have a problem, trust me. Also, guys, I'm going to try to give a price for everything I show, so that if you want to create the same setup, you know more or less what it's going to cost. If I can, remember the prices, of course, and where I bought them. Obviously, I'll link to everything in the video description below. So, yeah, like I said, waterproof, also ripstop nylon. On the outside, and then I'll just do a quick turnaround of the bag. Starting from the back, I've got some SWAT pepper spray, just my personal preference, and I'll show you a little later on how and why I have this set up the way I have it set up. And then a K-bar TDI on the one shoulder strap. This hooks on really nicely. It's not as flimsy as what it looks right now, especially when your shoulder is through it. It kind of creates a good pressure against there so it doesn't move about. Also, ventilated padding on the back with a sort of channel for air to flow through in the center of your back so you kind of stay dry. I did remove the waist straps. I do this on all my backpacks because when I carry appendix, and having the waist straps tied up tends to mess around with my ability to get my t-shirt or jacket up in order to draw if I needed to draw. So you'll find that all my backpacks don't have waist straps. These ones are pretty cool because they have like these clip type things on them, so it just comes, you don't have to cut it off or anything like that. Side pockets are like this mesh drip dry situation, so if anything gets wet, you can put it in there and it'll drip dry, which is cool. They don't have like compression tassels, but they do have these little clips, so they act as the compression tassels, and all the clips on here have this Velcro setup, which is really nice because I don't like, you know, things hanging loose. It just looks ugly, and I'm like all about minimalism and things like that. So having the ability to roll up and then Velcro together is really cool. On the other side, also a mesh pocket, same setup. Compression straps here and as well as over here, and then yeah, molle webbing on the front. And so now I'll get to exactly what I have and what's in the pouches. So guys, as I said, the way I'm going to go through this is I'm going to go through every pouch and every item and try to tell you what it costs and why I have it, but I can't do it for absolutely every single thing because this review will go from 15 minutes long to like 2 hours long. So there are certain things in here that are pretty much self-explanatory. I'm not going to really go through that at all. So the first pouch, this pouch I bought from a online Facebook company called Blades and Outdoor. Really cool people. I will link to their site below. Really cheap. You know, when I say cheap, I don't mean poor quality. Like, their price is really cheap. This pouch over here was $100, which is ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. This one as well. I'll get to more on this in a second. And you can order online and they deliver to your nearest postnet, so that's really cool. So in the first pouch, we have, quite obviously, a knife. This is a knife by Walter, and it's obviously a spring-loaded assisted opener. This was my EDC for a very long time, and then getting out of the car one day, I ripped off the belt clip, and I couldn't bring myself to let this one go, so it made the cut to get into the backpack. The blade's really good, and it's just like a really good, really strong, solid knife. It's also got the window breaker situation on the back, so that's quite cool, and that sort of just lives here. And then a notepad and a pen. I'm not going to go into what that could be used for, because I mean, you know what that could be used for. If you're traveling with kids, you can write your details down on there and give it to them so that they know how to get hold of you if you get separated, like a million different things. I also tend to write down the contents of my backpack on the back of the notepad, so I know without having to think about it what is in here, just in case. Okay, first zip. Let's see. This is really cool. If you don't have one of these, go out and buy one immediately. This is a buff. I'm a bit of a camo freak as well, so I'll have like as much camouflage things as possible. There are a million uses for a buff. Google it, YouTube it. This is ultra cool, ultra vital. Love this thing. I use it a lot. And then what this is, so I don't like carrying my wallet physically on me when I'm hiking, but I do always want to have cash on hand. So what this allows me to do, it's like a sleeve that goes over your wrist, and you can then open it up and slide some notes in here for easy access. So that's really cool. So the buff and this little sleeve, both were about 80 bucks. The knife was about 600 bucks, but that like 7 or 8 years ago. So I don't even know if it's still available. I'll try to link to it. I can't make any promises on that. What else? Digital camera for taking pictures. This is a Kodak. I don't even know if Kodak still exists as a company. So I kind of regard this as a disposable digital camera. It's 14 megapixels, so it takes quite cool pictures. And it's just kind of nice to have a camera when you're hiking. You know, you might want to take some pictures of who knows what. But you don't take a super expensive camera, because if it gets damaged, if it gets wet, you then lose a really cool camera. So yeah, Kodak digital camera. When I bought this like 10 years ago, it's probably like 1,000 rand. And I don't think you can get this anymore, so I doubt I'll be able to link to that. That's all that's in the front pocket. This pouch does have 2 pockets, front one, well 3 actually. Sort of small cell phone pocket, front pocket, and this rear pocket. I'll go through this. This is a drip dry bag. If anything gets wet, you just chuck it in here, hang it on the outside of your backpack, and it'll drip dry. If you are using these 2 drip dry pockets, obviously you don't want to put wet things in your backpack. I don't need to explain why. This is like 20 bucks, whatever. Hand sanitizer, sunscreen, and tabard. So the hand sanitizer, you can get this at like Clicks for like 20 rand as well. The sunscreen and the tabard, so I just want to talk about this for a second. I prefer these speed stick style situations because I find like a spray can tends to leak, and when it gets hot, it just doesn't work very well. So I prefer these. The tabard's also like the speed stick thing, and you just press it out from the bottom and rub it onto your body or all of your exposed areas, and that sorts that out. This is a bit pricey for how small it is. I think they're like 60 bucks each. I don't know if that's pricey. What's pricey to you? So yeah, these are cool to have, and they're small. I mean, you know, they don't take up a lot of space, so that's quite cool. And that's that pocket done. I'm going to be removing the pockets as I go along. So at the end of this video, you'll sort of see exactly what this backpack looks like without anything attached to it. And then down to the sunglasses case. This I also got from Blades and Outdoor for 60 rand. It's like ridiculous. And it's like a hard outer situation, so that's quite cool. In here we have a rosary. Obviously, we live in like a really dangerous, I'm not going to say city or country, we live in a dangerous like world or planet. So having good spiritual readiness is a good thing, especially with the attacks going on hikers in Cape Town. So yeah, that's, you know, use it, don't use it. And then a pair of sunglasses in a Glock sunglass soft case. I bought a Glock range kit from Tactical 22, I think it is. It's like 600 bucks, and it comes with eye protection, ear protection, as well as small earplugs, all Glock branded. It was like 600 bucks. Like I said, I'll try to link to it if I can find it. They also like a Facebook group, and they deliver. They're really cool as well. So that's all that's in there. And then in here we have the Super LED. This is a really cool torch. I got it at Cape Union Mart for like 700 bucks. It's the anodized aluminium outer. It's got a charging port, so the battery is a rechargeable lithium ion battery. And it's got quite a few modes. I'll try to show you this because it is quite bright in here, but I'll aim it off to the side. So the first mode is normal 800 lumens. The second is 400. The third is, I think, 100. Then it's got strobe as well as SOS. And what's cool, I don't know if this is cool for you, but this is really cool for me. This actually flickers SOS in Morse code, from what I understand. So that's quite cool. It will stand on its tail. It does have the whole glass breaker thing in front, so it'll stand that side as well. It comes with this belt clip, which velcros onto the molly webbing, as well as a normal belt clip as well. Guys, so I just want to show you something about the pouches. They do have the molly attachments at the back. These are the ones from Blades and Outdoor, so you can attach it quite easily. And then, okay, so more on the outside, obviously this pouch, you can see carries a water bottle. I like aluminium water bottles. I'm not a big fan of plastic because I just feel like plastic develops a taste after a while. What's cool about this one is the outside is not the inside. So the inside is lined, and what I like about that is it keeps things colder and keeps things warmer for long. But what it does as well is that warm things in here don't make the outside of the bottle too warm, which is obviously a cool thing considering it's aluminium. This is about $200, and I think you get it at like any convenience store. I think like Clicks or Discount or something like that. I'll try to find it and link to it below. And then on the other mesh pocket, so this is my med kit. Now, I'm not going to go through what's in here because I kind of personalize this to my needs, and I feel like everybody should have their own personalized med kit that caters to their medical abilities. But what I can tell you is this particular one is for your more serious medical emergencies. This is not for like a cut or a scrape or a plaster or a headache. Things you'll find like a tourniquet in here, that kind of deal. So like I said, I'm not going to talk about what's in here. I can tell you the value of what's in here is around 1,000 Rand. So yeah, that is what it is. Okay, on the front, this carabiner, it's not a load-bearing carabiner, but it does come with the bag. I love carabiners, so that's quite cool. I attached it to a lanyard, as you can see. And the reason I did that, and I really like how cool this is, these zips, they stay in place, but they really, it's almost like they're oiled. They're not really oiled, but they move really easily. So what this allows me to do, if I am wearing gloves or I need to get this bag open quickly, I can just give it a pull and the whole thing will zip down. I've done it like 300 times in my life, and the zips are still working perfectly. So don't be concerned. It works just fine. I just attached it to this pocket over here. So what I've got in this window is a map. I generally print out maps of where I'm gonna go hiking. That's just a good safety thing to do, you know, to know where you're going and how you're getting there and how to get back. And then what I do use is, what's cool about this plastic on here is nothing really sticks to it permanently. So I can take a permanent marker and mark out my route, which I kind of like to do. Again, not necessary, but yeah, it's fun for hiking, and you know, it's cool to embrace that whole mountaineering aspect of yourself. So the marker, I'm not going to get to the price of it. It's just a normal permanent marker. Inside this pocket is a handkerchief or a spare one. Vital, I use this more than I use anything else of my EDC. And then a spare cell phone. This is a Samsung Galaxy S1 or S2, I believe. This is like my first smartphone. And the way I've got this set up is that there are only emergency services numbers on here. So that if I ever go to this phone, I don't have to look through the address book for the number of a fire department or an ambulance or the police. It's literally only emergency services. So I just keep this as a spare phone. If something major does happen, I can go straight to this if I lose my phone, if it gets wet or anything else. So yeah, just a spare phone. And then some paracord. That was like $30 worth of paracord. Paracord has many uses. In here is a vital piece of equipment. Love this thing. This is a Booniat. So this is not a South African Defence Force issue Booniat. It's a store-bought Booniat. And yeah, I've started wearing this on hikes as opposed to a P-cap simply because it does a better job. Like $150. So really cool. Get yourself one of those for hiking. What else? There's another mesh pocket here. I'm assuming this isn't a drip dry mesh pocket because who would want something to drip dry into your bag? It's just mesh because of the design, and it's got a Velcro closing mechanism. In here is a Petzl headlamp. This is, I believe it's called the Petzl Ticker, or sorry, Tikina 2. Bought this from Cape Union Mart probably like 5 or 10 years ago for about $800. And this has two modes, full brightness and not so full brightness. I don't know what the lumens are of this thing, but it's like a diode. It takes 3 AAA batteries and it just lasts forever. Get yourself one of those. These are different power connectors. We live in a technological world, so being able to charge whatever you have with you on a long hike, you know, if your phone's like low, phones don't last more than a few hours these days. So this goes along with this, a Romos 15,000 milliamp battery. What I like about this battery is it's small, it's light, and it holds its charge extremely well. Like this thing will hold a full charge for like 2 or 3 months if you don't plug anything into it. So that's really cool. I've got a few of these in most of my backpacks simply because I want to have my equipment or my electrical equipment stay charged and connected. So yeah, this is about $400. Get yourself one of those. A normal lighter, really cheap, like 5 Rand. Still works. I've had this in here for ages. I don't know. I don't need any fancy Zippo lighter. I don't smoke, so this works. This is a Ventolin Inhaler. Basically, I have asthma, so that is what it is. I don't know how much these things cost. If you need it, you need it. If you don't, you don't. That's irrelevant. Okay, on to some cool things, or at least one really cool thing. This is a knife I got from Dad's Toys. I don't know if they still exist. Love this knife. I'll get into this first. So this is like one of those skinning tools, apparently. You know, if you kill an animal, you make a small slit in it, slide this piece in and pull it down, it skins the animal. I have been told that this will cut through a seatbelt. I haven't tried it, obviously, but really cool. Love this thing. And then the knife itself, like I said, buck in the USA. This cost, I think it was 1,000 Rand. I bought it a while ago. This knife is like really jacked up and messed up because I like look for reasons to use this knife. I try to cut everything with it. It's extremely sharp and it just feels really good in your hand. So again, remember, you're probably going to see things in here and think to yourself, is this guy trying to be Rambo? I just have a gear fetish and you're probably going to see most of it throughout this video. So yeah, get yourself that if you want to. Okay, further on, this is the waist strap of this backpack. All the clips as well, just forgot to say, have this fabric covering. It looks really cool. I don't know if it's there to prevent it from being opened accidentally. I put all the waist straps of my backpacks back into my backpack because if I don't, I will lose it. I've got way too many backpacks. I think I've got like 9 or 10 backpacks. So yeah, I need to keep all these things together and I forget what goes with what. So that's that. Is there anything else in here? So just to show you the full setup, you got the mesh pocket, you got the 3 pen pockets, a cell phone pocket, 2 compression straps here, and then this is actually 2 pockets, one here, and then another one at the back, which goes all the way down to the bottom of the bag, as well as the window, which opens on both sides. Okay, guys, so that's the outside front pocket. And then the main pocket, one thing to note, these zips only come down as far as the beginning of the drip dry pockets on the outside. They don't zip all the way down like the front one does. It's not a big deal to me. If it is a big deal to you, you're going to have to deal with that. As you can see, I'll try to open this. The main compartment, I don't keep full. There's still quite a lot of space in here for things. But when you see what I've got in here, you'll realize there is already a lot of stuff in here. So the bag is like deceptively big. So I'll get into it. First is another med kit. As opposed to the one I was telling you about earlier, this one is just for general bumps and scrapes and bruises. There's nothing like major in here. It's like plasters, headache tablets, iodine tablets, rehydrate, that sort of thing in here. I got the bag with a standard med kit from Clicks, and the value of this whole thing is probably like 250 Rand. So yeah. Okay, so here's where the weirdness is going to start. Yeah. this is a hatchet. So I've never used this in life. I don't know when I am ever going to use it. I went to buy a pair of socks once, and I came home with this from Carabiner. It was like 700 rand, 800 rand. I saw it and I just couldn't live without it. So this is really cool. It's got paracord for the handle. This does also glow in the dark, which I quite like. The blade's extremely sharp, so really cool. And it comes with a striker. I actually have used this once. I didn't make a fire with it, but I did strike it, so I suppose it counts as a use. And it comes in like a really cool sheath type situation that doesn't really connect very well to anything. It's got a belt loop, but I mean, I'm not going to carry this on my belt. So yeah, this is probably not essential. I just can't bring myself to leave it in my cupboard, so it goes into the backpack. I couldn't leave it behind. Okay, then this, you'll find throughout this video, I've got a bit of a pouch fetish as well. I would like to buy a pouch for my pouches. So this pouch, firstly, is like waterproof. Obviously, water goes in there, but what I mean by it is, if you take everything out of here, you can pour water into this pouch and it won't drip. That kind of waterproof. It's got a Velcro outside. And before I show you what is in here, this is my own idea of what I think should go with on a hike. And when I am talking about hiking, I'm talking about like 3, 4, 5 hour hikes, not like 1 hour hikes. And anyone who's ever gotten their clothes wet, muddy, or ripped on a hike will work with me and understand what's about to happen next. So there's a full change of clothes in this backpack. Start off with socks. Socks are socks. You have socks. I'm not going to tell you how much they cost because I don't remember. I don't care. Then a t-shirt. This is not a cotton t-shirt. I'm not actually sure what this t-shirt's made out of, but it's polyester. It's like one of those gym type t-shirts, really thin and wicks moisture away from your body. So, and also very small and doesn't crease, so you can just chuck it in your bag and pull it out. That was like 200 bucks. And then here we have a high-tech pants. This is also made out of ripstop nylon. It's really cool. It's extremely light. The material is strong but thin. And what I like about it is it's got leg zips, so you can zip the bottom of the leg off and it becomes a shorts. I hardly ever wear this. This kind of lives in this bag, and one day if I ever do need it, I'll wear it. Most of the things that's in here, they just live in here. And then this is really cool. This is a jacket from Carabiner. So the pants was about 600 bucks, but I bought it a long time ago, so I'm not sure what that's going to cost now. This jacket costs about 1,500 rand, and it's really, really cool. Check this out. This whole jacket fits very easily into this little pouch. And it's one of those super warm type paneled jackets from Carabiner. And I know it looks super creased, but as you wear it, it uncreases, which is really cool. Get yourself one of these, you'll love it. Okay, and then what else do I have in here? I'll show you all the pockets that's in here in a second. Another pouch, obviously. Oh, this is a really old pair of binoculars. Like I said with the camera, you want to kind of keep things in your hiking bag that are disposable. I don't know what this costs. This binocular is probably like 20 years old, and they're just for convenience, and they go really cool into this pouch. This is also one of those waterproof pouches like the previous one, just a smaller version. I really can't link to what this will cost. So yeah, binoculars, they are what they are. So that is it for this main compartment. So I'll just show you the pouches quickly. You've got the main section in here, which is where the spare set of clothing and the med kit was. And then you've got another zipped mesh section, which zips closed. That's where I had the hatchet. And then another back section here, which is kind of padded. This is quite thick, which is where I had the binoculars. Okay, onto the very back of the bag. For a while, I didn't even know this compartment existed. So there's another compartment here. And what has to be remembered is this compartment is not this compartment. They're two separate compartments. So that's quite cool. I didn't even know this existed for a while. So this is like a waterproof hard box kind of thing. If you do go hiking and you want to put your cell phone or your wallet, something of value, your watch, for example, in this box, it's obviously the box provides structural integrity and strength so it doesn't get damaged if anyone takes a fall. And also it's waterproof when it's closed and it does float. So just a cool box to keep your valuables in. This costs about 280 bucks. Also at Carabiner Mart. And then this is the sniper tactical sticker. This sticker is actually the thing that goes on here when you do buy it, although I just replaced it for this one because we are all proudly South African. And then what else? A spare holster. This is a holster I got from Quantum Carry Solutions. It's their chameleon holster, and this caters for the Olight PL Mini weapon light. What I like about this, and the reason I carry this one, is because it is a folded piece of Kydex. I will do a review on this soon. It's a folded piece of Kydex. It's really small, and it can be worn as an appendix or strong side, say 3-4 o'clock. So I like that it gives good versatility and slots very easily into the back of this, and it's kind of then just gone. No one knows you're carrying a spare holster. So that's really cool. So guys, this is what the backpack looks like when it's on. The waist strap sort of comes around here and cinches together at this point over here. Now the reason I remove it is because if I then need to go for my firearm, as you can see, there's not a lot of room for me to maneuver. So I take that off so I can yank my t-shirt up. I don't want to be thinking about how high or how low I can or can't pull my t-shirt. I'm not a skilled guy. I want to do the most basic gross motor functions as possible in a hectic environment like that, or in a dangerous moment. So with regards to the K-bar and the pepper spray, the reason I've got them set up this way is if I pull it off, it's with my left hand and my thumb immediately goes into the sort of safety catch of the can. As well as with the K-bar, I also go for that with my left hand, and I use it as a jabbing tool because I just find mentally it's going to be easy for me to punch someone holding a knife than to stab someone. There's that whole mental breakdown of one human being stabbing another human being. And in an extremely stressful moment like that, I don't want to be thinking about that. So I've set it up so that I wouldn't say non-lethal because a knife is not non-lethal, but my non-firearm hand is always going to be my left hand. My right hand's only function in life in an emergency situation is to go for my firearm. So I've eliminated that need to think about which hand is going to do what. Remember guys, I'm the everyday guy. And everything I say is an opinion. Nothing is a recommendation. If this doesn't work for you, don't use it. Use what works for you, because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, if you draw your firearm, you are in the situation, not me. So do what you feel comfortable with. I will just do a full 360. As you can see, the backpack isn't wide. I don't like wide backpacks because they tend to snag on things, especially when you're walking in like a heavily forested area or through thick brush. You don't want to have to think about, leaves and things grabbing onto your backpack as you walk past it. So I like the narrowness of it, and it just makes it easier to carry, even in an urban environment. You walk through a door with a wide backpack and it tends to knock on the side of the door. So yeah, really cool, not too wide, but it does stretch out quite far. So as you saw in the video, you can get a lot of stuff in there. And that's it for the backpack, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for your support. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you want to know anything about it, put it in the comments and I will reply. If you want to see more, obviously subscribe. In my next video, I'm going to be outlining a giveaway I'm doing. It's my birthday this week, so I'm going to give away something tactical like a knife or a torch, something like that. It's going to be really, really simple, really, really easy. Just subscribe and email me. But I'll explain about that in my next video. And I think I'll be reviewing a locally made, when I say locally, I mean South African made tactical pants. I use the word tactical in inverted commas because the manufacturer doesn't like that word, but in my opinion, it's a tactical pants. So yeah, subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. God bless. Cheers.